For this first snack, this first activity, all you need is a piece of string about the length of your outstretched arms. So stretch your arms out, you know, 5 feet or so of string, and cut it. And then what you want to do with it is, I hope you can see me even in this tiny little window there, but wrap it around your head, around the back of your head like this, and then with your, and hold it with one hand, and then with your other hand, plunk it. Like you're plunking a guitar string, and fool around with a few things. I'll give you a couple of ideas for playing with it, but then while you're playing with it, also think about this. Why do you think when you just plunk it like this, compared to when you plunk it like this, that it sounds different? Okay, so here's a few things you can do. Pull it really tight and then loosen it up a little bit, or hold it a little bit loose and then tighten it up a little bit. How does that change it? What happens if you start out really short like this and then get longer and longer and longer? What does that do to it? And finally, well, I think that's enough for now. Just see what kind of sounds you can get at it, and kind of while you're looking at everybody play with this, try to think about why it might sound different than if you just did it in the air like this. And I have to say, it's really fun to see everybody on gallery view doing this. So thank you for being uninhibited. All right, so I'd like to invite you to share some of your ideas in the chat box, or if you are willing, unmute yourself and just start talking and share kind of what you noticed about the differences in the sound, and or why you think it might have sounded different when it was around your head than when it wasn't. Lovely. I'm seeing all of these. It sounds like a stand-up bass. It sounds great, like an amplified sound. It's like a personal concert in your head. All right. Would somebody be willing to unmute themselves and just say anything about why you think it sounds so much louder when it's around your head than when it's not?
Maybe it's just the vicinity, like how close it is to our eardrums.
Janelle, can you say that again, please? I think we couldn't hear the first part.
Oh, I was just going to say that maybe it's louder because it's closer to our eardrums.
Isn't that, it's like almost right over your ears. That's true. Yeah, nice thought.
I wanted to add to that because it's wrapped around the head. It's actually vibrating through your head. You can feel it against your skin.
Can you say a little bit more about that? You use that word vibration. So,
you can feel the movement of the skin kind of transferring to, the movement of the string kind of transferring to your head.
Exactly. Like if you look at it really closely, when you just plunk it like this, can you see that? I mean, maybe on mine, but certainly on yours, it goes back and forth. It goes up and down really quickly. It's vibrating. And as you said, you can actually, when it's against your head, feel that kind of tickly vibration right against your bones. And, this energy from the string, when it's in the air like this, it's going in all directions. It's going away from me, towards me, up and down. But when it's against your head like that, it's just, touching your skull. And so all the energy, all that up and down motion just kind of goes right into your head. And, and then our ears have bones too, so that it just goes right through our bones. All right, I'm looking in the chat box with some of these other really lovely things that people have written. The closer to my head, the tone was deeper. Closer to my hands, it was higher. So, when it's long, can you clarify, please, Kathy?
Yeah, just, I feel like when I'm near to my head, to my ears, the tone is deeper. But if I go further out towards my hand, I feel like it's a higher pitch than
Nice.
next to my head.
It's so much easier to see it than to kind of figure it out by reading it. Other people, if you saw anything neat, just go ahead and or heard anything interesting, go ahead and unmute and go ahead and say it. But otherwise, I'll read through a few of these and maybe ask you to comment. So Maggie's asking, it vibrates our skull? Yes. The longer the distance, because you're feeling it vibrate as well as hearing it. So there's this interesting link between feeling vibrations and hearing them. All right. The tone was different because of the tension. When it went from tight to loose, it went from a high note, dee, 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 like a little baby bear sound, to a lower note, like a mama or papa bear sound. Okay, just like the difference between a violin and a bass fiddle or something like that. When it's much bigger, it's a deeper sound. All right, so I think this gives us a start. We're going to do 3 sound activities and they build on each other. So hopefully as we do this, you'll be building your knowledge about sound, but we'll also be using it as a jumping off point for doing some different text type writing. And so I'm going to hand it over to Kelsey now, and she'll get us started on the first of our activities that bridge to writing.